Hey investors, this is Hunter Berg, and this is my third video of my YouTube series that I'm going to post on Investor. Today I'm going to talk about IPOs, initial public offerings. The reason I want to talk about IPOs, I've been reading different news sources that have been calling 2019 the year of the IPO. Simply because there's been so many big time companies going public this year. For example, you have Lyft, Uber, Slack, Beyond Meat is a big one that most of you probably know about. You have Zoom, one of my favorites to watch and trade on the fantasy league, and Chewy. And we're also expecting many other big time companies, or well, I don't know about expecting, but they might be doing an offering later on in the year. For example, Robinhood, there's been some sort of news going or just talk, chatter about them going public this year. We also have Airbnb maybe going public this year. Oh, also Pinterest. Pinterest went public a couple months ago, so that's another big time company that all of us know about that has chosen to go public this year. So I have a resource that is saying, or they're saying that they're expecting about for the rest of 2019 and to start 2020 about 20 IPOs per month. So that's almost one per trading day. That's just crazy. That's astronomical. We haven't had that in the market in a very long time. It's kind of starting to be comparable to the dot-com boom in the 1990s, which there were just IPOs after IPOs, and basically any company that had a website and a name could become public. And obviously that was dangerous, and it popped. The bubble of the dot-com bubble popped, and there was a lot of money lost, and it was just rough. But nowadays, it's a lot harder to have an IPO. So all of these companies going public kind of gives me confidence as an investor that they're expecting to have some gains and for people to invest and buy shares of their company so that they can raise money, hopefully put it into their business practice, and then provide a long-term growth plan for their investors. So what is an IPO? It's an initial public offering when a company goes from private to public, and there are two major stages. The first one is pre-marketing. Okay, they have to get in contact with underwriters that are big time companies, usually huge financial companies, companies that have a lot of resources that they can supply up front for these private companies to do legal work, all of this marketing, all of these different business practices that they have to take care of in order for the transition to be successful from private to public. Certain common underwriters are BlackRock, T. Rowe Price, Vanguard, certain banks like Wells Fargo. Just if they have a lot of resources to provide a company, they can be an underwriter. So what these underwriters get in exchange is usually a share or a large share of the company that's going public. So both sides benefit, and both sides end up generally profiting from the IPO. So it's kind of good for both of these sides. And that's the whole point. So that's the first stage. The second stage is the actual offering. So, a day is picked, it's planned out. Oh, they're going public today, and then the market, depending on the hype, will send it up. Well, it may just stagnate, or it might go down if it's thought to be overpriced. We kind of saw that with Uber after its offering. So it really is kind of risky, but for our long-term investing and even the short and medium term, because 2019, according to many people on Wall Street, is the year of the IPO. it will benefit our trading and our fantasy trading and all of these, even long-term investing, to learn how IPOs fare in great markets, in a bad market, when the market is flat. So we can really get a nice taste of this over the next 6 to 12 months. So that's why I want to talk about it today. Um, so another part of that is these companies are offering a percentage of their company to the public. And I generally look for companies offering 20% or around that to the public, because certain companies that offer 40% or higher seem to be just trying to pay out their employees or pay out their executives and just trying to make money for their own individual self gain, rather than raising a bunch of money and then pouring it into their business practices or their business endeavors for the company and providing long-term growth for their investors, and for you and I. So I really recommend paying attention to IPOs, IPO news, and talking about IPOs. Investor has done a great job of bringing IPOs on as instruments for the fantasy league pretty quick. It's sometimes it's been the day of. That's where it seems to be heading. In the past, it was also like a day after, or if it was on Friday, it would be right after the weekend. So they've really done a great job of allowing us to trade these IPOs right in the beginning. So pay attention to them. Like this video on YouTube, on Investor. Comment below, or hit me up on Investor. And as always, happy trading and happy investing. Thanks.